Most people don't want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and that is scary. Do you agree? Think about it. And let's start with the story of Rohan. Rohan had a heart attack at the age of 37. As he told his story, it was a clear case of career burnout. He often confessed that he worked very hard and struggled even more. The constant tension at work was about the team that didn't do enough, they didn't work hard enough, and they didn't prioritize adequately. He blamed them for not coming up with solutions, etc. In fact, they just didn't care enough. As we moved along with the session, he admitted that he placed high demands on himself and others, and his hyperactive, vigilant eye missed nothing. So saving his project was as important to him as saving the world from disaster. There are many Rohans that you may meet. Whenever we feel overwhelmed by all the goings on around us, most people look for something to blame and look for a scapegoat. Psychologists say that we're addicted to criticism and frequently blame life and ourselves too and plunge into victimhood, like feeling really sorry for ourselves. Very often we hear people say, I didn't create all this. It just happened to me. This response is in fact a clue to some unaddressed belief or attitude. Reflect on this for a moment. Do you ever do this? So it's time we redefined responsibility. Responsibility is the ability to be mindful of ourselves and of our thoughts and feelings. These thoughts and feelings that result from what happens inside and outside of us. It primarily means to consciously choose our response with intention and care. Many times, responsibility is confused with obligation or punishment, though it is a response to things we actually have a control over. For instance, when we don't want to go to a party with friends, and their response is, you'll really hurt my feelings if you don't come. Pause and check. What is your intention for not going? If you don't intend to hurt anybody, then your responsibility ends there. Their hurt feelings are their responsibility, not yours. As another example, look at the circumstances of your life as having two files. One is your file and the other is not your file. That's the title of both these files. Then ask yourself, is this issue in my file? If not, forget about it and don't take it on. Put it in the other file. So response is a conscious, examined answer or action, and a reaction would be a mouth before mind, an abrupt answer blurted out before considering any other option. Viktor Frankl says it perfectly. Between stimulus and response to it, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So whenever we use the space to pause and reflect, we are response-able. And we create win-win situations, we create strong relationships, and we mature as individuals. To me, in my counseling work, responsibility is akin to evolution. That's how strongly I feel it as a basis for the work that I do. The ability to know that we're at a crossroad at times, possibly stuck in the mud, and in order to grow and become who we want to be, we need to hold ourselves accountable. Don't you think? In my world, at least, responsibility is the key to the soul's evolution. Until next time. Remember, stay happy and share a little too. What else is there?
That was this week's episode for the Cellular Alchemist podcast with spiritual psychologist Ritu Malhotra. Don't forget to follow the podcast and join us next week for yet another episode. Thank you for listening.